of course one of the things that dropped this week ilikuwa interview ya Katt Williams. um, interview ilikuwa ni Katt Williams Unleashed, ilikuwa kwa club Sheishe ni Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is a former NFL guy huko Massachusetts States. Alafu apart from NFL of course alikuwa na work on Fox Sports. Alafu after Fox Sports akabaki amejoin Stephen A on ESPN, sindio? And yufanyaga hii podcast yake, na apart from this podcast yufanya another podcast na mse anaitwa Ocho Cinco ndio mse fulani ule I don't know kwa ulisikiaga nikisema alikuwa amepost a video akiwa kwa gari.
Ni yule mse wa blue, is black.
Unajua hiyo like wanakuonyesha nile. So they do aufanyaga podcast pamoja, and it's an interesting podcast. So but now so before this interview drops, alipost tu picha, Shannon Sharp alipost picha yake na Katt Williams akisema this will break the internet. Najua nikashindwa like what do you mean break the internet? This thing has broken the internet. 2 days 16 million views.
Ni kama music video.
Yes.
And it's 2 hours long.
Yes. Alafu
yeah.
So now
box office.
I start watching this thing and akaanza kuenjoy a few comedians and like alienjoy umsanaitwa nani, alienjoy Cedric the Entertainer. Actually feel alikuwa sema Cedric is not funny. According to me, Cedric is funny. I don't think I'd ever say Cedric is not funny. Is he like the funniest stand-up comedian? I would not say he is, but Cedric is funny. Then I can enjoy, of course, Steve Harvey. I've always thought Steve Harvey has a stick up his ass. I don't know why. He's also a funny dude. I've seen some very funny Steve Harvey jokes, so I swear to take away from that. But do I think Steve Harvey is likable? I don't think he's likable. He fakes too much. You fake.
And I love when that you lean on religion too much.
Yeah. That's God has you, whatever. Of course, Nani is a funny dude. Ile dude inakuwaga funny. It's a DL Hughley. He come to the kings of comedy. DL Hughley and Nani and Barney Mac were the funniest. Yes. But now, before that tuingia kwa stories za Katt Williams, watu lazima wajue me come to like some of the funniest people on earth. Katt Williams is one of those people. Waga nimemrate sana. Na musabaga like for most comedians, there's always that one joke that you'll never forget a comedian for. Mseka Rapture, of course, you're always with him. So I have like a million jokes that Rapture I never forget.
Yeah.
But now for American comedians, there's always that joke that you'll always remember someone for. Dave Chappelle, kuna ile joke ya crack kid. Ile like driving around in a limo in the ghetto. Alafu nakamtoika na sell crack at 3 a.m. Kuna ile yake ya like if blacks are kidnapped.
Like shout out to
we is chilling.
Yeah. Hata ile yake like if Batman Robin kama wangekuwa wana fight crime downtown Brooklyn.
Yes, so
in my car.
Then of course nani anaitwa nani? Chris Rock. Kuna the ile joke yake ya like if a bullet cost $5,000 will inaweza reduce violence. Kuna yake the classic ya men don't have platonic friends, and pia ile men don't settle, they surrender. Acheki. And it's hard not to cheat. It's hard. Atile like if I do this trying to cheat, alafu dem anataka do the cheat alafu anza kuihepeshe, a dude will pull a hamstring. Like, no, alafu like so Chris Rock is that. But now nani kuna that one joke, like he has a lot of classic jokes, but the one joke that I've even quoted it hapa on IKONINI, ni joke ya Katt Williams ya slippery nut. The slippery nut.
It came from him.
Yes,
because you used to talk about
slippery nut.
Yeah,
Really come from Nani?
Of course, that back those days I was suffering so much.
Yeah.
From those, I think I just didn't have actual nuts.
Yeah.
I think all my nuts were slippery.
They were slippery.
Unaingia pale 2 minutes, then ukirudi 2 minutes.
Yeah, so kwa watu wajui slippery nut, let's explain this before to get into now the controversy.
Nitty-gritty.
Yes, before we get into the controversy of the interview. So what's a slippery nut? If you're a man, you've dealt with this. Every time you're going to shiriki with a woman, like when a dem unakuwa on different journeys, the woman is trying her best to come like she really wants to. Sinajua?
It's very far.
You on the other hand, you're trying your best not to come. So nani anaitwa Katt Williams alikuwa anasema a lot of bitches niggas uzoitaga bitches niggas don't know that there's a very simple solution to this, and the solution is before demo wako aingie afike kwa hao unafaa kuusha nyonga. You get the slippery note. Umekafukuza. So now by the time unaanza because susahau like nature nature ikianzisha sex, when nature was designing sex, because nature is only concerned about the species thriving, sindio? That's why
Procreation.
yes, it's not necessary for a woman to come, because nature inajua the orgasm, our female orgasm haita affect population in any way, sindio? But dude lazima
Our orgasm
unini,
will.
yes. So now nature ukiingia pale nature inataka unini as fast as possible so that the species
On to the
thrives.
next.
Yes. So now that's what Katt Williams was talking about, that before dem afike nyonga haraka alafu uko sawa, alafu nyinyi mkaenda online mkaanza kufundishwa na kina Amerix. You're going to be addicted.
Be weak.
Like mi nimekuwa niki jack off. Have you missed an episode ya IKONINI atiko somewhere? Like it's so stupid. Alafu unakaa mnaona like ninja ziko online zikikwambia vile jacking off it's such a big problem. Sijui what, kwenda huko. Hii raya hizi raya kwanza upreach against it, unapatanga they struggle with that. A lot of people
They just want more.
Yes. To feel less guilty.
Wanataka crowd ya slippery men.
Yeah. Ukitaka kuona dogi ushona vile dogi ushikaga kitu yote zina hump.
2 minutes.
It just shows it's part of nature. It has nothing to do with it. So nani alikuwaga na hiyo, and if you're a dude and you always struggle with that slippery nut, that's the easiest solution. Before dem afike nyonga, by time anafika zile nuts uko nazo hazitamdisappoint, lakini shaifika pale atunataka kujidanganya. First of all dem
hakuna time uangalia load.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this was so much today. Wow.
So yeah, try kuimagine hivi dem ni msupu, sindio? Apart from kuwa msupu, you've been desiring her, si ati yene umekuwa kikudesire, umekuwa ukimdesire. Alafu number 3 ana drip wet, alafu najidanganya utaishia. Nature iko like
I'm archback.
Yeah. Nature iko mwaga haraka
zile za Trump. I'm gonna come.
Yeah. So Katt Williams alikuwa na hiyo joke, a slippery nut. And yes, so my advice is simple.
Anaweza sema alikusaidia ukanisaidia.
Yeah, I used to tell you about it.
Yeah, like get rid. But sasa nao mimi niona kuambia suffering so much. Like hata nikienda pale because I wasn't used to the infinite contrast za machai. So ukiingia pale uko like, oh, sasa nilienda wapi? Of course it took, you have to use a lot of specimens.
Yeah, so mi utapata like any girl ule that I expected to hit it in my books hakuna ule nili disappoint after I became who I know I am. But girls that I didn't expect, kaa kuna katika dem nakule dem tulimitigi time ya tupatane. Remember that one? The Kaluya.
Yeah.
She was religious, loved Jesus.
Yeah.
I never expected to hit that. So by the time ananipatia niko na slippery night. Disappointed her twice with the slippery night.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Because the first time alinipatia I was like, what? Slippery night. Oops. Opusarena. Then the second time, oops. Opusarena. Nacheki. But afterwards, muoga naambiaga, especially if you're a young dude, like you're in your 20s, this woman is showing up. You expect this might go down. Just a few hours before. Make sure like maybe nza kuwa 1 hour, 2
muuliza tu
hours
umefika
before.
wapi.
Yeah.
Because kanaweza kwa kama generate.
Fika pahali nyonga, kuwa na pipe clean. By time unaingia pale,
do
you
your
have
preps.
confidence. You can do a few things. Like kasi unajidanganya tiko na nuts za last month. Afu ati dem super amekuja.
I don't think hata
haraka.
yuga utaingia kama umetapika.
Yeah. So that was a classic Katt Williams joke. You can Google it. Katt Williams slippery nut. So now let's go back to the interview. So Katt Williams alido interview yake na alikuwa nabonga juu ya a few things. So alibonga juu ya macomedians kama hiyo story ati ujastejua kwa the kings of comedy. I don't remember where Bunny Mac performed kwa hao wote, but I feel like it's either Banimak ama DL Hughley ndo alikuwa nafaa kumaliza show. Tunajua yes, Katt, yes, Steve Harvey ended up being the biggest because of daytime TV, but ilikuwa inafaa kuwa hivyo. But a few things alibonga juu yake, of course, pia ni juu ya nini the history yake ya Illuminati. Hizo sasa ni conspiracy theories. But I loved a few similarities za states na Kenya. Ilikuwa nasema like at any given moment the industry ama Hollywood elevates one comedian, ajua. And for a very long time Kenya we had that where the industry would elevate only one person and then the rest have to be hapo chini. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about that. Like he talked about comedians that are not like comedians being lazy, and I feel like that's true. Comedians can become lazy. I've seen this with some of my favorite comedians at Upper Kenya, where a comedian became super lazy. And by that, what I mean is stand-up comedy. Yes? As a stand-up comedian, you're always supposed to be writing. It's supposed to be like a rapper. If you're a rapper, you have to be writing full-time. Yes?
Yeah.
So as a stand-up comedian, you have to write jokes full-time. I've seen there's a stand-up comedian I really respect, but nakumbuka nikiona set yake in 2021. I think this is the time that I discovered this comedian. 2021, yes? I saw his set. And then I came to see his set again 2023, I think December, just a few weeks before Rapture, ama November, one of the two. And it was the exact same set I'd seen 2 years ago. And I was like, that's laziness. I don't care. You'll say you're testing out the jokes. Nah.
You don't care if it's a different audience. Unajua kitambo. You could do that in coast. Ungefanya hivyo in Nakuru, Nairobi, Westlands. Hata ungezunguka nayo hapa tao. But saa hii unajua like the fact that production is too easy. Na it's not as expensive as kitambo. Unapata most of your content is out. People are sharing your nini, so I think saa hii ile kitu iko ni how to kuwa na fresh content all the time.
Yeah. You have to always write, man. You're a comedian, you have to always write. So I loved kusikia nania kibonga juu yayo. Like sisi siwezi kudanganya, like saizi if you were to just sit down and be like Rapture ni aje, don't come up with another joke till the end of 2023. Let's just try and create a special of jokes zako za kitambo. We can still be able to create a 1 hour special ya Rapture.
Yeah.
This dude
or 1.5.
He's always in the mind state ya comedian. Like you are a comedian 24/7. He's not a comedian who switches off and on. And you may notice that's like the only criticism niko nayo na a few comedians ile nime notice like they switch off. Kuna time ya writing, alafu kuna time they're not comedians. Nacheki. And I'm like, that's not good for you. You have to be a comedian 24/7. So niko nacheki Katt Williams akisema vile one of the reason why audiences love him is the fact that if you watch his special today, the 1 hour, if he shows up next year in your city, you won't watch the same hour. It's going to be a different one. Then you look at even Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, easy. I may do like 6 stand-ups in like 4 years. And it's the same thing. You can't, if Dave Chappelle can do it and he's rich, you are not rich. Why the hell are you not writing full time? There's content to write every day. Majuzi Ruto ametokea na kakasi like this shit you didn't write. Think about Ruto, think about taxes, think about just think like a comedian, just challenge yourself and whatever. So I loved hearing that from an American comedian because I feel like comedians get lazy and they start doing the same set over and over and over again and it becomes bullshit. Yeah, so that's one of the things that stood out for me. Akibonga juu ya lazy comedians. Then alibonga juu ya beef yake na mother anaitwa Wanda. So nilikuwa nafikiri ni Wanda Sykes. So I love Wanda Sykes. Kapata si Wanda Sykes, ni Wanda Smith. It's like some radio host. And she's the one who started some shit. And when she started, he's very petty. So he went down with her. And he alimuogopa kwa studio. Kwa her own radio show. Yeah, he dragged the floor with her. So there was that. Kuenjoy Chris Tucker, that Chris Tucker is the Epstein, the Epstein Chris Tucker. I don't know what I feel about that. Does Chris Tucker and Epstein, do they end up in the same whatever? I don't know. Kama usually happen.
Okay.
What else did you talk about?
We'll
So
talk about also the cancel culture.
yeah,
And I told you, say
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
I love the comparison. Alikuwa anasema
Mm.
Hollywood made him look handsome.
Yeah, but he's not a handsome dude. Yeah.
Like all black niggas should be handsome.
Mm. Yeah, but
So
Jonathan Majors, it's sad.
it's sad. Na
Like he
akasema like
literally
you
ran
made
away
him
from the
that
white
way.
girl. Unajua?
Huh?
He ran away from the white girl. She was the one who was following him. Him was running away. And now he's being cancelled.
Mm.
Like how does this work?
Mm.
Yeah. So kulikuwa hiyo hafu tukibonga jua comedians whichko alibonga jua hii controversy ya ile ni next Friday. He was on next Friday.
Mm.
So kuna fala fulani anasema anaitwa Ricky Smiley. He's
Mhm.
claiming he was the one who was supposed to play ile karakta yake. You remember kulikuwa na karakta yake ile alikuwa anatry kurepiwa na nani na Terry Crews. Did you watch your movie? Where he ends up
Watch
akishika
Friday, next Friday after next.
Yes. So akishika karakta ya Terry Crews na nini
Iko
na
nuts.
pliers.
Yeah.
So kuna other dude is claiming you're supposed to play that character and I'm like alafu nani anauliza like because if you see Katt Williams in that character he owns it. He owns it 100%. So yeye kusema it was a lie that looks nini because Katt Williams also appeared on kuna issue ya Donald Glover kunaitwa nini FX kunaitwa nini damn I've forgotten this show. He appeared there and he owned a crocodile on that show and he owned that of course on Boondocks as a pimp named Slickback. FX Katt Williams kunaitwa nini jo hii show inaitwa nini kuna show aliapia ya FX hii show ya Donald Glover inaitwa nini Atlanta. Show Atlanta.
No, George Atlanta.
You're going to enjoy. He appears there. I think his character owns a crocodile. Na ni kwa neighborhood. This dude lives with a crocodile in the house. It's a very funny and yeah, he's a good like when he owns omseni ni actor mkali. So I mean enjoy interview yake. His stories are Illuminati, those are the ones that I'd find debatable. But kuna kitu moja alisema ilikuwa like surprising. Unakumbuka hii raya inaitwa Harvey Weinstein Harvey Weinstein wanted to, if I'm not wrong, sexually harass Lupita. Unajua hivyo? This dude was out there. Kumbe he loved chocolate man.
Yeah.
So Katt Williams anasema hii raya jo ilikuwa namwambia jo nataka I want to nini suck your yeah jo and then I'll make you famous. This dude was like hell to the no and then ina joke inaonyesha like kuna time wameenda kwa after umse ameofa hivyo he went to the room and found a bunch of other black dudes and he was like I don't know how you people got here but
Of course.
it
You
was
know how
really,
we got there.
so
Cause unajua like of course unajua sometimes of course anakuanga na straightened hair a lot of nini so he would appeal to weird white men.
That kama nabonga juu hiyo story kwa sema ya laziness si same ya Amandip. Amandip is not a lazy comedian. Amandip is always a comedian everywhere he goes. Like hata ukimwacha niko nini that dude is always joking.
Yeah.
He's a comedian full time.
Na ni yule kwanza ni he says I think a comedian himself anafaa ku break boundaries and still make you laugh
and
still
that dude breaks
provoke your thought hata provoke your thought hata ile time alikuwa hapa kuna time alianza kuona about gay jokes zingine hapo pale uko like hey dude okay
Amandip is always a comedian
because
wanasahau like if you're shooting a comedy special and you've been doing this joke for nini and then you put it hapo hakuna shida there's nothing wrong with that ile kitu nilikuwa nasema ni ile like if you're going to something that's classified as an open mic and the same joke ulidu kwa open mic 2 years ago you're still doing it right now because now you're not testing it you already know it's a good joke put it aside if you're shooting a special you'll use it now test other jokes nacheki but nani jo hata majuzi alikuwa nadu he did like a few live shows on YouTube unajua like 2 or 3 nights back to back Amandip is not joking around him is that's a 24/7 comedian yeah, so hiyo ndio nini, I don't know if there's anything I've forgotten to your interview. Kulikuwa na
Of
conspiracy theories
of
za
course, yeah,
Illuminati.
yeah, yeah. Hiyo ati
Yeah, na
Ludacris.
Ludacris. I don't know how true that is, but it was interesting ya kusema ati I wanted to reach this level with a virgin asshole, because I actually feel like yes, Hollywood inaweza kuwa hiyo, because unakumbuka Terry Crews. Unajua Terry Crews alisema jua kuna a white dude who came and just started grabbing his nuts, unajua
Mm,
Terry Crews hizo muscles jo.
mm.
So kitu ilikuwa funny, that dude was saying that while crying, so like kuna mzajo ni nini jo, see punched the other dude. But sasa now the question was, do you punch this person and then maybe end up losing
get
your career,
cancelled.
you get cancelled, ama do you just take it? Because you have to also reason out as a family man. So as a family man lazima kuwe na vitu zile unafikiria, like choices and consequences. But yeah, hiyo ile happenigi.
Also,
But
also
what I
ile
really
part
enjoy.
alikuwa nasema aliulizwa, have you been in jail? Sema like 30 times. Yeah. Like if you come at me 15 times looking for weed,
You'll find 15 times you'll find weed.
yeah. If you come at me looking for, a weapon, of which you appear, we talk about all these, guns na America na nini. Vile alisema hivyo, like kama unakuja kwangu kutafuta gun and you find it, well, if you need to arrest me 15 more times, utanipata nayo.
Yeah, because I need to protect myself.
Yeah, alafu sasa niko like when you're living in a place, kama hii area yako tuseme everybody had a gun. Do you know kesho naniuliza Ian,
yeah, utabidi umeichukua.
nichukulie gun place unaweza ama tuende tutafute gun, because sijaiangalia in that,
Yeah,
because anybody can
tuko felony possession.
yeah.
I don't know kama hivyo, I think inaitwa hivyo. Yeah, so kulikuwa na hiyo so I think it was a good interview. But me now kuna hizo vitu zile he got personal with other people zile sikuwa invested in. Me, I was more
Kanye,
invested
what
in.
did you say about Kanye?
Yeah, alisema Kanye tayari mnasema gani msamechizi, then anatu vitu zimechizi alafu mnamjudge.
No, na nyinyi ndio mlimuita genius in the first place.
Pia anasema hiyo kuita raya genius because I've never najua sijaisikiza like unajua vile napenda Bob Marley. You know I hear say Bob Marley is a genius. Like why? Genius is such a Einstein was a genius. Even Elon Musk is not a genius. Unajua? Elon Musk is not a genius. Steve Jobs was not a genius.
Because they're just improvising whatever was invented.
Ile raya kwa
formulas.
Tim Bennett, I think that was a genius. Let me see. What's it called? Tim Bennett.
Na nini genius? Neil deGrasse.
Yes, Neil deGrasse
is a genius.
Ira ya nini? Wacha nione. Who the hell am I trying?
Then genius to you. Of course, Zuckerberg.
Was he genius? No.
Yeah. Was it?
No. Zuckerberg is
tech
not a
genius.
To me, genius ni Tim Berners-Lee. Unajua who Tim Berners-Lee is? What is T. Berners-Lee famous for? Then yasema Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. Now that's a genius. This is the dude.
Oh, salt.
Yeah.
Salty.
Yeah, so he's the one who used to tell people that one day this thing will connect billions of people. How do you umechizi? Einstein was a genius.
Steve
Hawking even with
computer. The first.
Yeah.
Computer ilitengezwa nini?
So even
code za German.
If I was to say vitu za genius ikiamata computing siwezi weka Steve Jobs. Bill Gates is debatable. I think Bill Gates we can argue for him being a genius. Acheki. Akina Zuckerberg nah, I feel like hapo tutakuwa tumereduce genius because if tunaita Zuckerberg genius, mse wa Google tutamwita nini? Because Google is a university, so yes, this is genius level shit because Google is we just Google na ngale time nikikwambia like hey OLED inakuaga na Google then unapata so yes, but
a search engine.
Yes,
like they created a search engine.
Yeah, that ended up being a school. So kuna nini so nini tena Katt Williams alibonga juu yake. Alipatia mse wangu credit. Najua kuna time nilikuwa naenjoy waga tukiwa watoi kulikuwa na show ilikuwa inaitwa Hanging Out with Mr. Cooper, na show ilikuwa ya Makari mwaga Makarios. Kuna raha kuna nienjoyiki Makari yo hanging out with Mr. Cooper just so that guy like his star was shining and then it is dimmed mara moja. Alafu nakumbuka nikiwatch show ya Steve Harvey, ilikuwa show ya Steve Harvey na show ilikuwa inaitwa nini, kuna Steve Harvey na nani, Steve Harvey na Cedric the Entertainer. I remember thinking this show has very Makari because the Steve Harvey show it had very Makari
like influence
hanging out with Mr. Cooper influence. So it was good for me to hear him akibonga jio story. So it was a very good nini. Msa J watch and I watch
I think the first hours I still need to nini because mini ile part nitawatch nitakumbuka word for word.
We nakujua.
So
alafu kitu pia ni jazz na yeye the fact that he treats stand-up comedy as a sport and not just a sport, as a competitive sport. And I love that hunger. Unajua hunger like I want to be the best in this thing. I feel like people lose it at some point. Sometimes money can make you lose it. And I always say someone like anaitwa nani Churchill Churchill mi feel ni kama alilose your hunger ya wanting to be the best. Ilifika to level where he was just comfortable with being the richest comedian. He stopped wanting to be the best. Dave Chappelle still wants to be the best. It's a very tricky because unajua when you're starting this thing you are fueled by poverty, sindio? So poverty fuels you. So what happens after poverty imeisha? Now what's going to fuel you more? And hapo ndio place waso nini. So of course strategy ya Churchill ilikuwa kali because now he brought in other people. But kuna time alileta people and they used to outshine him on his own platform. They'd outshine him on his platform and
mpaka yeye akaacha kuride akaanza kuintroduce watu.
Akaanza kuintroduce wase. And then another thing about Churchill alikuwa he still is even till today. He's everyone's comedian. You can never be everyone's comedian because it's going to take away from your humor because you're going to have things you can never joke about. And you should be able to joke about anything. Watu wa jam na wewe watu wa nini. So but so hiyo ni kitu moja nizasema juu nani, kuna time ali fall in love with the money and the what, which is very important, yes. That he stopped being a comedian. So to see mseka nani akiwa hivyo because tumesetia wase clip ya Chipukizi akisema nani alimpatiaga $5,000, yes. And it's not just him, kuna mpaka Dion Cole anasemaga kuna time ashaenda akaperform akachapa show kali, then backstage dem fulani akakuja backstage akampatia $1,000 afu dem akaishia, akashindwa kwani umenipatia $1,000 we ni dem like utanipatiaje do? Na kama anadiscover later baadaye alikuwa mpatia do na nani na Katt Williams. That's how much that dude is a stand-up comedy fan. So when he met Chipukizi, I think he was so jazzed na Chipu that akuwa na believe like kamseka ametoka Africa amekuja mpaka US kudo this thing that I love so much, this akamwona jo sasa umetoka Africa je, hii ni njaa. $5,000 that's like 800 Gs. Hiyo ni gari hiyo ni kagari ka second hand fulani ka kademio fulani you know, unakaita
kademio second hand new model.
So
Okay.
So kuna hiyo nini. But me I've always been a fan of stand-up comedy.
Na Katt ni wa mtaa gani?
Ni so Ohio, same place na nani Dave Chappelle. That's the funny thing. Dave Chappelle wagamso Ohio pia.
Okay.
Dave wagamso Ohio.
Inaka maybe there were a lot of stories storytelling.
Kwanza shout out to best yetu anaitwa nani jo, anaitwa Peter Ndongo kwanza za Ohio. Nani tena waga Ohio? I think ni Peter Ndongo. Kwanza yetu inaitwa Natali na kuwaga Colorado. So mi nilifurahia hiyo nini hizi story tu ma conspiracy theories za Illuminati ndio sijui hiyo kusema like they were offered 200 million.
Ati one tu wengine there were two people, one alikuwa yeye na Ludacris and one shaved his hair.
asiati
Yeah,
Luda ame release freestyle na wanasema dismiss wako like Luda this not it because Luda of course is a
niko
dope
na
rapper
crisis.
but freestyle ilikuwa nini
Mm.
so yeah that's my 2 cents about that interview. It was a good one
It's
Yeah.
still out there, so if you need to check it out,
Yeah, go check it out.
go check it out.
Yeah. So tukitoka hapo wacha tubongejua story ingine pia nicheck ile happened states. I think it happened this week na ni story na did you see this dude who jumped on a judge?
Yeah, see, I tagged you kwa Twitter.
Yeah,
I
jumped
think
on a judge.
nilikuwa tu ni vile kuna get too hot
Mm.
at night over like the last 3-4 days ama last week. So mi najipata nimeamka around 2 a.m 3 a.m in the morning. Sweating na see from action, from sleeping. So mi naingia Twitter, just want to see what's there. I see some guy fly. Hey. Akati amenyivwa parole because guy, but I think kuna section. I think he was an athlete before. Lazima angekuwa athlete
Because the way
before.
that dude jumped.
Because kuna section yenye you have to, cross ukitumia cross over using your feet. But sasa now he needed a place ya elevation ya kujiproject. And then the look ya magistrate, black nigga fly, a black Superman.
Alafu
Of course it was, I understand. Hata nakumbuka tukitushana wife namwambia like hizo parole unajua maybe hata amekuwa akiavoid fights kwa cell, amekuwa akipromisiwa na the guards, amekuwa nini akisaidia watu nini, maybe amereform.
Your dude is a reform. That dude is
No,
a
just
douchebag, bana.
No,
See,
like-
I had to read his story.
What happened?
After his story,
Uh-huh.
I had to read his story. This dude, first of all, he'd gone to jail before for domestic violence. Going to jail for domestic violence is the lowest crime ever. Unaonanga na arguing na dudes hapa juu yake. Dudes ziko like alafu hata hii story ya domestic violence, it's going to go back to one of the conversations pia Katt Williams alihave. Shasikika nikisemaga hapa a lot of times that sometimes your woman is as toxic as you let her be. Like the energy you una putting out there. So the energy you put out there is you love bullshit. And then your woman comes to you loving bullshit. She'll want to slap you. She'll want to be dramatic, shout mbele ya watu akwambia vile hauna nini. Unacheki because that's the energy bring around her. So this dude had gone to jail for domestic violence. Ndio? And then apart from that, the reason why he's in jail right now is because of battery and causing grievous bodily whatever. This dude attacked someone with a baseball bat. Baseball bat inakuwaga kitu ya chuma. Unajua hivyo?
Hata kama ni wooden, it still kill you.
Yes.
It still cause harm to end your life.
Alafu unajua ulisikia vile lijitetea vile likamkotini iliambia judge
kuna audio.
Yes. Vile likamkotini kuna hiyo transcript kuinaambia judge I'm a changed person, si lazima unipeleke kotini. Then as soon as judge amesema because there is a pattern, unajua upenda vita, upenda you love keeping it real. As soon as umeambia unaenda jela kina fly bitch, now this is a charge of another charge. So hii raia by the time inatoka jela
Yeah.
Hii raia itakubali.
I think miss jaiona hivyo miss jaiona hivyo because unajua he got to the judge. Alimfikia na kamvuruta chini.
Yes, she got some injuries but she was not hospitalized. She was not hospitalized.
Alafu unajua sasa ile kitu nilikuwa naona mbaya ni amechomea black people. Because saa hiyo natakuwa naambiwa like the next 5 atakuwa na nyimwa. Atakuwa tu sentenced, waone tu reaction yao. Just at the end of the day it's a white man's country.
Au atakubali. Alafu kuna mtu ameni correct, Frank Mwangi ameni correct, amesema Chappelle is originally from DC. Yeah, it's originally from DC but right now lives in Ohio. Sa pole.
Ohio it's a state of its own.
Yeah, Ohio ni state. I think Cleveland iko ndani ya Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Iko ndani ya Ohio. Ohio iko nini. So but hii raia live place inaitwa ni Yellow Springs. hiyo time I think hata kuna time amepeleka watu kotini, kuna watu walitrai sijuu kudu nini around his farm, he ended up taking them to court or something. So he's nini, but hii story huo fala alikuwa mjinga sana huku. Sayo anaenda jela for a long time because I don't think there's anything America enjoys more than putting black people in jail.
He only jump into his own shit.
From the frying pan into the fire.
The fire you get.
You really fly. Kwa saja watch your video, enda mwitafute jo.
I saw it, I thought ni ya kitambo. And then kusearch naona ikitu saa mi niliona ikiwa 46 minutes. Kwa sasa unajua pale ni I think vile tu alisomboa tu hivo guilty
MC. Hata kabla sentence isemekane maybe hata akuwa anaenda kujailiwa for long, najua maybe it was not going to be that long, but now you fly like that. Number one, you are black, sindio? Number two, you attack a white person. Number three, you attack a white woman. Do you know how many innocent black men in America have gone to jail? Because there's even a situation that happen where a white woman dreamt that she had been raped. She had been raped, and then she identified a black person, and that person went to jail. She dreamt she had been raped. Usisahau kuna msaitwa Emmett Till. Unajua Emmett Till? I think Emmett Till was he 11 years old or 12 years old? Let me see how old Emmett Till was. So Emmett Till alikuwa mtoi. He was accused of raping a white woman. He was still a kid. He was 14 years old. He was accused of raping a white woman. Yes. Do you know Emmett Till was beaten so badly that madhake aliinsist, watu wako nataka ikuwe closed casket, madhake aliinsist, I want people to see what they did to my son. So aliacha ikuwe open for people to see what was done to a 14-year-old black kid. Because you know when this woman was in her 80s, she came out like, he didn't rape me.
Fuck her.
Acheki. So
ni rapa mgani aliambianga haingiangi kwa lift na nani?
Alikuwa Reverend Run DMC. Kwa sema ashai accusiwa of rape, a rape that he didn't do. So him, it's any woman, even black women haingiagi kwa lift na black women, because don't forget, of course, white women's lies will end up costing you your freedom, yes, and even your life. But black women lies can also cost you your money, because there are black women also trying to make a quick buck. But saizi kuna bonga tu jua racism, like the white woman nachiki hata like vile kwa tunabonga jua classic jokes za comedians, yes? I think another classic joke inakuaga, kuna comedian, what the hell is his name, acha nitiki nitokwa Two Comics on a Bench. Kuna podcast inaitwa Two Comics on a Bench, there's this black dude who makes a joke about walking, anaitwa Greer Barnes. Greer Barnes umekigi joke juu ya walking behind a white woman and the way it's scary. There's nothing more scary than a black man walking behind a white woman. Because in her head kanajua you are over sexualized, so unataka kumrape uko nini ya so kuna hiyo kuna that's a classic joke ya Greer Barnes, like it's a funny one.
Sio hata kama ni I think ni wife yako alikuwa anachapia story ati there's a woman who was arrested after CCTV footage kwa mall ilishow she was not followed. Kumbuka mwenye alikuwa alimake up assumption ati ana photo na msee na akaenda akampina akasema ati ni yati amekuwa kimfollow, of which pia CCTV footage inaonyesha na they were just headed in the same direction.
So cheki, so it's crazy, man.
Okay, America.
Afu pia imenikumbusha vile we're talking about comedians and their classic jokes, and I'm thinking I need to have this conversation with a comedian. I think that after either Kisiangani or Doug Mutai to have a conversation about comedians and jokes you'll never forget. Because another joke I'll never forget ni ya Michael Che. Michael Che alikuwa anasema ati marriage in America, because of course this is not Kenya, but marriage in America inakuwaga bet. Wakati I bet you have my shit that I'll never leave you and I'll never disappoint you. I bet you have my shit. Najua like I bet you unajua cause ukikosana dem mwendaga na hao. Alafu unajua dude inakuwaga like in America it's an unwritten law that the woman owns the house.
Mm.
So mkikosana, when do you build the house?
Mm.
Move out.
Mm.
I don't want you here in the evening. Like, what the fuck am I
I
supposed
think
to
it
do?
starts with the couch. Mimi hata tukosane ajama tupeane silent treatment.
States
I
sasa-
sleep the bed.
States inakuwaga don't show up. We toka enda.
Mm.
Watch the
They
have you
even
watched-
call the police on you.
Umewachi episode ya Fargo ya this week?
No, sijawatch hii Fargo.
kuna
I think
scene kaa
sasa
hiyo.
ile part imeenda
Mm.
nataka tu iishe then I
Okay.
binge watch it.
So
See, imebakisha hiyo ni episode 7 ama?
Mm.
So 3 more.
I think 8. I think hii wiki ilikuwa 8 ama.
Mm.
So, acha nicheck. Fargo episode. So but I bet you have my shit Nini. Ilikuwa episode 8 this week. So 9 na 10 ndio zimebaki. But I bet you have my shit. I'll never cheat on you. I bet you have my shit. I'll never disappoint you. Because unajua kuna hiyo story ya dem. Unajua vile pia another thing that American comedians love making is the fact that a girl is allowed to outgrow you.
Mm.
So since dem iko allowed to outgrow you, dem yako nizaamka tu siku moja iko like, you just don't do it for me anymore. You don't inspire me. Let's go our separate ways. Bring half your shit. Because dudes are never allowed to outgrow. Kuna msali kuwa na joke ati LeBron hezi amka asubuhi aseme ame outgrow wife wake. Itakuwa like, he's such a piece of shit. LeBron James, you're such a piece of shit. Unajua? But dem anaweza amka tu nakwambia niache. You don't do it for me.
Yeah.
And, so kuna hizo
Pia hata ile nini yake special nani Eddie Murphy.
imedu
Ile alikuwa anasema unajua saa nini Eddie Murphy ni maringo, it was ni braggadocio. Alikuwa anasema ati the way he got ati alikuwa anasema Elvis Presley how famous he got. He has so much pussy. Even pussy was falling out of his pocket. Ati hata ukitambia nyuma yake unakanyanga pussy. Hey Elvis, this is your pussy? Oh, thank you man. Lemonade. So like hiyo yake 8 na nini hata ile time ati alikuwa sana sana when black hizi nini special za nini za black hazikosangi discipline. Cause pia aliopoga about discipline vile mama yao alikuwa sharpshooter na njumu pia Iris Spears alipoga about kuvunjwa na madhaki hazikosangi.
Hiyo nani imenikumbusha vimebonga juu Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy ndio kwa nabonga juu dick control. The fact that when you're young you have zero dick control. Tunaweza kuona cross barabara alafu you have an erection. And I remember when I had that joke I laughed so much because now later in life that joke is even funnier because when you become older you notice that you just don't get random erections. So just stuck out nimekaa tu pahali afuate nimesteady for no reason. But ukiwa young dude tu umekaa tu kule Rais Ruto leo ameongeza ushuru. Umesteady kule.
Ameongeza blood flow.
So kuna hiyo so kulikuwa na hii kuna joke gani tena nimekumbuka classic. Iris Spears of course ile mupenaga kusema mumquote bila kumquote ni ile I'm gonna give it to you. Story at their sexy accents na kuna zile accents is sexy. Sasa alikuwa anapatia najua kira ya Brito. Like I want to don.
Alafu Dave ako like what is that? Jana na uongoza.
Alafu so the Indian accent doesn't do it. I'm gonna give it to you. Say my name. Pumasanji. Alafu hiyo pia kuenjoy Africans. Ati vile Africans waga hiyo. Ilikuwa very funny. Mwanaya.
Iris Spears kama na inaitwa Look I'm Smiling.
Look I'm Smiling. The special
Look I'm Smiling. Ilikuwa poa. Ile ilikuwa nasema the difference between they are subjected to so much racism in the US. He went to do a special in Canada. Ati alikaa 2 weeks ajaona fellow black man. Tile time alimuona ati alicross barrow. Ati akaenda kamhaka we need to stick together. Have the black one like, what's wrong with you man?
That was some funny
That was
shit.
some. Yeah, that was a.
History ya Emmett Till last nasema ilikuwa whistling. Maybe I always assumed it was some sexual shit. It was whistling, which was
Like
they
sexual
say,
harassment.
yeah, it's like sexual harassment. That's why like
Damn.
now
Oh.
black men dating white women in America inakuwaga tricky because kuna hiyo element ya like she's coming from a history of messed up racism.
Mhm.
Like America's racism is so bad that during World War II, kuna American soldiers that used to say wakiwa France, wakifaita kina Hitler and what, they used to get treated better huko in Europe than they were getting treated back in America at home. Yes. So that's how America's racism inakuwaga like a certain level. That's why unachekigi like I always dismiss when people talk about ati black Americans are victims. I always dismiss that. Hiyo ni ile kitu moja nakuwaga like fuck it. Like yes, do black Americans have things that I don't agree with? Yes. Kile sifurahiage na black American ile time vile utumia jina cultural appropriation. I find like they overuse it. So cultural appropriation ile design ya Colibads. Wajua kuna time Colibads black Americans walikuwa wanasema ati why is he singing in a Jamaican accent? Wajua li grew up in Granada. That's cultural appropriation. I'm like fuck you. You have black people in America are not even using our accent. For us they're using an American accent.
Yeah.
So hawezi tumia vitu kama hizo. So kuna zile vitu siagrigi nao, but one thing ile mujuaga juu ya watu hakuna victim mentality. Maybe are there opportunities there that maybe they don't see? Yes, there are. Because hao pia wameambua like a lot of kids wakigrow up wanaambiwaga be a rapper, be a basketball player, be a what ambiwagi jo all these other opportunities outside that, sindio? But racism in America ni real kabisa.
I think nini unajua like America was a plain canvas. Of course the natives just hata ukiona kwa movies ni watu wametulia,
Yeah.
hawana maneno, wana observe tu culture yao, you know. But ukiangalia watu wengine waliingia wote you get.
Yeah.
Like the Irish unajua wakimove huko potatoes zilikuwa they were just infected and they were facing nini famine. Wakipanda ilikuwa tu, so they were just navigating wakitafuta two place and then they stumble upon this place, alafu well hakuwa na nini, hazikuwa zinaharibika huko cause ulikuwa ukichimba unapata imerot. So unapata these guys moving in wamekuwa na they are not happy. A hungry man is an angry man. The Dutch wakitoka hapo in the 1600s huko kulikuwa na plague.
So najua jina Brooklyn, kuna Brooklyn ya Netherlands like New York wagemeboro a lot of stuff from the Dutch.
Ukiangalia the Dutch walikuwa na nini, wanatoroka ni plague. Uko na plague fulani hapo hivyo hizo datene kitambo. So so unajua pia hawa wamefika kama ako diminished and they just want to maintain their race. Because and then unapata the black yameletwa huko kaa slaves you get. I don't know about the Mexicans.
Ni kucross tu. Lakini tunachikia wakicross they are ready for the bullshit.
They are ready
jobs,
for the bullshit, yeah.
So they're ready for the bullshit.
So I think walipata ni watu wenye wana try to preserve their own turf. And of course the Jews. Sorry.
Okay. Take it. So New York City was once called New Amsterdam. Parts of New York City are named after the original Dutch colonial settlements. Brooklyn after Brooklyn. Hii Brooklyn ni vile nani aliandikaga. Master Yes yuko na hiyo di BREU Kellen. Sindio? Harlem after Harlem. So Harlem ya nini iko na 2 A's. Staten Island was originally called Staten Island after the Dutch parliament Staten. So New York inakuwaga like nini, it's very Dutch. So the Dutch, hata kuna the Dutch heritage
kama
of
ndio
New
alikuwa
York.
na the plague. Kulikuwa na plague huko in the 16th century.
Nini so inakuwaga na hiyo story ya Dutch. So in 1625 Dutch settlers founded New Amsterdam as the capital of New Netherland on the island of Manhattan. According to Native Americans, meant island of many hills. An Englishman working for the Dutch turned the Native American name into Manhattan. Oh, hiyo Manhattan ilikuwa jina ya Native Americans. It was not whatever. Yeah, but so that's why you're New Amsterdam. Hey, it's interesting. So wasema ni check nini? Oh, so hizi majina wameziandika kabisa.
I think
like Harlem iko named after Harlem. Yeah, it's Hempstead iko named after jina pia ya Kidutch inaitwa Hempstead.
ama Dutch plague that made them migrate cause unapata try to angalia hizo scenario. Everyone mwenye alikuwa anakuja huko alikuwa anaingia.
So plague unasema ile plague ya Europe ama plague ya America? Plague ya Europe, of course there was a plague in Europe.
Sasa most of them najipata waliingia huko.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to protect their race wasiishe, so they didn't want anybody to mix. Alafu napata ni wasi wamejam tu. It's a collection of oppressed people.
When did the plague hit Netherlands? That was in 1613 to 1614 in the east middle of the country, and in 1616 to 1618 the plague was more widespread. In Utrecht there were mortality rates peaks in 1614 and 1617. In 1616 plague also reached Amsterdam, Leiden and other cities in the west. Okay.
So unaona hata wakimove kule wanaenda na name tu their towns.
Yeah. So following the epidemic of bubonic plague that wiped out 10% of the population, Amsterdam economy is quickly rebounded. Oh, okay. 10% of the population. Watu walikwenda kuenda. Yeah. Alafu kubanga jua kuenda ina karibia time yetu ya kwenda nini? Kwenda Kajitombe.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
I think tuko sisi wote nikaa tuko in the holiday mood. Nachiki watu wajachangamka, si wenyewe tujachangamka. But asanteni, 2023 was a good year for IKONINI, sindio?
Yeah.
And tuna hope 2024 itakuwa the same. Yeah, but last year ilikuwa interesting. So this year we want to make it more interesting, and we also want to see if we can do more than one live show. That would be good. Last year tumefanya live show moja, ilikuwa very interesting. So it's not like to make everything the right way, and then hiyo show ikisha editiwa vizuri tutaipost. So I think kutakuwa na hiyo post ya wase kuwatch the 1 hour special, alafu there'll be another link for edited scenes. Nje vile Europe ufanyaga kuna hizo edited scenes that have been edited out. Not Europe, nini DVD, these companies auduigi. Kutakuwa na hiyo tena. So wacha tucheki vitu kadhaa. On hi-fi sound, which one is better, 3-way or 2-way? Buddha, but don't know jua hi-fi. Hi-fi, I feel like it's such an old school name. Like, are we talking about
Hi-fi
the 90s,
system.
man? Are we talking about the 90s? Because right now, okay, it depends. Yes, if you don't watch movies, okay, a hi-fi sound makes sense. Otherwise, a hi-fi sound to me makes very little sense if you watch movies, because you can always get a system, like you can get a home theater system, sindio? Wanza tu na home theater, si lazima uanze sijui na stories za mareceiver na kujistress, because hizo ni story mingi pia where you stress yourself. So nakumbuka receiver, najuaga one of the things that kills receivers mob ni overheating. You know they heat a lot. So sijui hata kasa hizo notice kwangu nimekelea receiver juu, and the reason being is
I thought ni kitu ulikuwa na setup.
Zizi ilikuwa nilikuwa nimeiweka kwa nini, cause wife alichange nini yake, like the TV stand she never loved, cause the TV stand kwa tunatumia ni ile nilipataga nikiwa bachelor, so we lived with it for a very long time, so she hated it. So I don't know if she hated it because she expected. Yes. So now in the process she gets in nini yake, but now the receiver had to go into a compartment. Hiyo compartment haikuwa na enough place for airflow, so every time
ingehit ulikuwa unaona
heat, kumbe and then nikiconnect to hii tv mpya nikuwa na notice picha inapotea inarudi. Kumbe mi ndo nikuwa nimetol na settings za tv nikaeka game optimizer, so the tv would assume I'm watching a game. I'm playing a game and then adjust the picture, but still in the process because of my paranoia I ended up buying kuna nini fulani unaichikile fan ya Zak wagana fan fulani ya laptop
ile wekeleaga laptop
chini your laptop is overheat. So what I did is I bought fans mbili za USB zenza kwa nikiekelea receiver, so now I can put it anywhere. So nitairudisha back to the place it was, but now have
with the fans na
yes with the fans so that it stays
chill na
stays
mafans
cool.
huko
Chill na mafans yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to do na nini, but vile nimekwambia I think this year the only home thing mi nenda kuongeza ni base. I want base, so hii base na nimekuwa nikidebate sana, should I just save nichukue tu ki SVS. Unajuanga SVS SVS is ridiculous dude, like shit like zero distortion. Unajua hizi vitu
like no matter how high unaweka ni hakuna
zero distortion inikupuliza unajua kichiki kama
hewa safi.
hii base niko nayo kwa time like a bomb will explode after nasikia imele acheki, so that's nini, so your SVS ni kama hii mic ya on sound, hii mic ya on sound ni jazz yani watu wajui these are the little things nimekam notice your technology like things are priced the way they are priced. There's a reason like
now that one is crazy. Ile kaa tungekuwa tumepe nani rapture hii ile stand the vile unajua hii
hiyo stand inasaidia saizi that's helping.
If I did this kwa ile utafeel kwa sababu hii inasaidia
inasaidia
ni grounded kwa wood kama ni ile
so
yeah.
So because of this tuna change your mic soon so now at least guest anaweza kuwa akimove cheki I see like zero noise ingine yako unachokianza kudu hivi na kuaga like buda ka rapture shush na kumwambia buda jo tulia like kuna a lot of times kwa saizi kila sana wanani kujua kuna mse fulani alikuwa ameandika majuzi alikuwa amezuisha sana juu interview ya Zab sijaisikiza but mtu anaweza tuambia kama how was the sound ya interview ya Zab. So by the time my nephew ndi ali edit interview ya Zab apparently he didn't make sure sound was whatever so kuna mse alikuwa dramatic like make sure you don't cause inadepending how much time I have. Like back in the days nikiwa na time suka rapture ungeona every time he coughs I'd cut it out achiki and like hata akigonga nini cause rapture ndio move kutushinda akigonga mic sukuna na mikono kugonga mic au sasa kwa ile achiki hakuna kitu nasikia hapa like I have to listen for it kwa ile ukigonga hivi kunasikia afu nachikio kitu imespike so I'd go there and cut it out but of course nephew is still learning a few things here and there and he's learning. Alafu unajua the good thing about it is I also love such criticism because when that dude did that I went and sat down nephew nikatry kumwonyesha hizi vitu and apart from that before I did that I actually watched YouTube and I saw how some other dude edits his podcast and now these two podcasts naweza sema ni mbili like watu wametusikiza lately watanotice like all mics now sound exactly the same like same level same what and it was because of criticism ya mse so criticism pia tukatagi if it's warranted and it's what the only thing I didn't like about him was like the way you need to pull down the show and re-upload it again. I'm like really like really dude like I don't think we needed to do that.
You don't possess that
but alinibamba cause saizi nafurahia sana vile tunaedit sound like there's always something to learn and ndio ni kitu pia kuna wale wasoshindaga wakituuliza what like this thing always be ready to learn enda usikize episode 254 sindio rapture mimi Ian look at our levels on that episode to me it was one of the best episodes episode 253 na ule dem wa rege from hapo kuendelea. Alafu angalieni, this is 250 episodes later, someone teaches us something and we jump on it. Always learn. Usiwahi kuwa mtu I've been doing this for 200, there's nothing to learn. There's always something new to learn.
Wow.
Saizi nafurahia sana saizi, hata nikikusikiza hiyo na nisikie mike yako iko low, like I don't care because your software ni Adobe Audition, yes. So lichukuaga Creative Cloud. I don't know if it was Black Friday. It was not Black Friday, but there's a time Creative Cloud ya Adobe they gave us inakuaga $69 per month, but then had this 50% off. So I just decided to take it because sound haikuwa inanifurahisha. Kuna kitu nasikiaga ile noise and I wanted an easier way to clean it. So I was like, cleaning audio ya IKONINI every month for $35, it's not a bad thing, you know. But now with this, now the sound is going to be better. Check. So now with that, yeah. So vile tunasema jo, we are going to perfect this thing slowly.
Yeah.
At some point will be the shit kabisa. Because now the next thing is nataka mse akiwatch kwa OLED akuwe like, yeah, this shit looks good. Because so far ukiwatch IKONINI kwa OLED, it's not wow. Tiki standard OLED. Yeah, shit. Momanyi Makori anasema sound was a bit low but it was okay. Yeah, so this one nini. Alafu channel ya Luthuli narudi lini? Na need kupost jo hiyo nini jo. Na need kupost what is it called? I need to post what is it called? Your video ya unboxing the OLED. This week I have to do something, man. Sorry about that, man. I went the holiday mood. Like I recorded your video. I've never edited. I recorded that video niki unbox the Nini. I've never not done that. So I have like 3 videos.
Yuli nini? Yuli
Iliposti bado jo.
Ya hii.
Yes. Like
Ilo
I've been
kinusa.
lazy. I'm so lazy. See, hii niliposti on IKONINI. Yeah. Because this was a birthday present. Watu wanashindwa ni yana na point at the Bluetooth speaker nilipatiwa ka birthday present. I posted it on IKONINI. But Luthuli nimekuwa nimenyamaza sana. Kuna alafu Kevin Dongo asema Mwaf glasses upgrade from CR39 to glass. Is it worth it? Which glasses do you mean? Do you mean easy? Because hata sijui CR39 ni nini. All I know is I don't like maisha yangu ya specs. Alafu wacha tuone tukimalizia comments kadhaa. Kuna Katt Williams is saying the truth. They have been on his case for a while. There is some truth he's saying. Tiffany Haddish is not funny. Huyo ni Ombese. Ombese umepotea. Yeah, Tiffany Haddish anakuaga very she's very funny in movies, eh? Like I love her in movies. Her stand-up ndio inakuaga 50-50 about it. But in movies I find her to be hilarious. Kuna kuaga na watu kama hao wale wako cheki. Yeah. Then Frank Mwangi kusema it's historically said that when a white woman cries a black man must bleed. Yeah, kutakuaga na hiyo. Kevin Dongo, I'd have to research on that. Your CR39 and whatever. Because that time ni remind where vile tuli move studios, I don't know vile niliweka charger zile specs zangu za my smart glasses. I don't know where I put their charger. And you know you should never let the battery drain out kabisa. Afu nanga kuna time nikiuliza wife, hii sana unanaga kuwa na mawife waga stress. You're like, I didn't see it. She just dismissed it. I'm like, these are smart glasses. Yeah, so I'm going to have to look for nini. Because shida hizo nika charger imepotea. There's nothing you can do. So charger yake ni specific. Because mtu waga na charge.
Tule to kuclip.
Yeah.
Like kuna like 2, 3.
Yes, alafu ni mbili, this side, mbili. So it's specific kabisa. I'm just hoping for the best. Because ingekuwa ni USB-C, ingekuwa. And that's kitu moja Europe ni bamba nayo. Unajua Europe, I think by the time wanamaliza hii story, EU, vitu kata specs pia zitakuwa zikichajiwa na USB-C. Because it's bullshit to have charging with this, charging with this. Because even toothbrush, it's one specific. Why can't they just make it USB-C? Ajua. So they make hizi vitu za nini. So yeah, asanteni for your company. Imekuwa the first show of the year ni 2024.
Yeah, happy to
the first live show.
Yeah.
This is to 50 more because I think we'll be doing 50. We'll not be doing 51. Your last week of the year will be resting like we rested in NS. So this is the first of the 50 and yani another 50 to come, sindio? This is the first of the 51. So kama kawaida vile usemaga, like, subscribe, hit the notification button,
Tell a friend,
tell a friend. Tukimalizia tukisema ekonene.